Hello, welcome to the update for today. I just wanted to share with you where I'm at right now. So it's been several hours since the last time I recorded, and I was brainstorming, I was building on the ideas that I shared earlier. But instead of sharing that, I want to share with you my strategy on how I'm going to execute. So once I've gathered my ideas, elaborated them just a little bit, not so much to where this is my essay, but just enough to where, they're like pieces. I returned to the prompt again, which was not really a prompt, but this is what the page said on the link, on the tab that said essays that worked. It said, in each of these, and I put 7 essays, because that's all I read, students were able to share stories from their everyday lives to reveal something about their character, values, and life that aligned with the culture and values at Hopkins. An effective essay can be about something as simple as a TV show or school club, as long as it tells us something about the writer in a way that is relevant to our community. We hope these essays inspire you as you prepare to compose your own personal statements. The most important thing is to remember to be original and creative as you share your own story, thoughts, and ideas with us. Okay. So that last couple sentences were pretty, basic, but I wanted to share my adaptation of the prompt. So I changed it to share stories from your, meaning my, everyday life to reveal something about integrity and the questions I would ask that lead to integrity, purpose, big picture, and life, and my life that aligned with the interdisciplinary and the truth shall set you free at Hopkins, which is their motto. An effective essay can be about something as simple as Fantastic Mr. Fox or Plato's Divided Line, as long as it tells us something about you and how you're relevant to our community. So that's that. But I also wanted to include some photos. I mean, because that's kind of how I think. So I decided to use these photos that I could find from Google Photos. I can just show you them for a second. Sandra. Okay, I've repeated by then. So, there are a lot of photos here, and I can't seem to pause, but I have many different pictures. I chose the dance one because I like how you can tell a story through dance. I chose a math one or a couple to show how I really like math and how it can explain a lot more than it just is as it exists. I also showed ones that have to do with food because I showed how what goes in us is it gives us life, and it's very important, and it should be treasured. I put ones about the Venn diagram because, like math, it represents more than itself and in a much bigger way. I showed the what's it called? The reality versus expectations with the Olaf cake to show that although we are people capable of reaching the intelligible, we still live in a life of gray. We see black and white, we can, but we still live in the reality of gray. So it's not like that's attainable, but it's still there within our minds. So I think that's important to understand. I took a picture of toothpaste because I thought it was a funny moment, and it shows how, life can teach us things in any time, not just in a classroom, but just in even the most private moments. I showed the color wheel with the triangles, and the triangle again, and then squares, sort of, because it, to me, showed, it reminded me of my interest in art and how incredible that is, and the mathematics behind it all, in my opinion. I included the question I asked myself, or put on the back of the page, to convey I was always questioning, and that I'm really careful about what school I choose, because I want a school that can really be one that reaches for truth, not just a name, not just I drew, I put the pictures of what I've drawn because it shows how I'll move from what I see visually into what is the purpose. Like, I move there. And then what else do I have there that I wanted to talk about? Language. I talked about language because it shows how I really like many things. But cons, because I like the seed, how it can grow and be more than just a seed. Another one was the serenity written in the concrete. I took the picture upside down by accident at first, but then I realized it was serenity. And it was to show that photos can tell a story, and I like that. I think it's important to be very intentional and purposeful with everything. And lastly, there are many pictures of kids because that is where I'm at, my heart. There was one that it says pterodactyl, but it's like P is for pterodactyl, and it was about how it's the worst alphabet book for kids, but it reminded me of another book called The Book with No Words. My phone's gonna die. But yeah, those are just what I'm brainstorming with. I went from rewriting the prompt to fit me to looking at pictures. And that's how I'm writing my essay. Keep you posted.